Welcome to Legion Outpost. So we're so glad to see you here, and we are today going to be talking about getting started, how to get started as Legion with the Rebels. And so today we are just talking about the Rebels. Now, Rebels are going to be one of the hardest ones for me to talk about. One, because they're one of the oldest factions, and they have the most to involved in, but also it's because I play them and I play so many different lists with them, and I use so many different characters. I from time to time I probably use everything that's out there with them. So I think that a lot of them are really, really good, and a lot of the units are. So sometimes it's hard to say, okay, where do you get started? Well, obviously, as I usually say, the best place to get started is with a core set. Now there's two sets that you can get involved in core sets. There is the actual core set, which comes with, for the Rebels, it comes with the Imperial too, and it's best if you can split that set, or if you just want both sets and you're going to collect everything like I did. But with the Rebels, you get Commander Luke, you get 2 Rebel Trooper units, and you get an ATRT, which they're all pretty handy, but the 2 Rebel Trooper units right now are not playable as normal. But the other way to get started is with the Echo-based defending. Now, Echo-based defending is a good way to start. I'll talk about and break down what's in the Echo-based defending. But I think if you are going to buy Echo-based defending, which is usually at around $140 to $150 in price, it's worth getting a starter set because you get the dice, you get the extra cards, you get the tokens, but also you get Commander Luke, ATRT, and 2 Rebel Troopers, as I said, which are not in the Echo-based thing. So right there, you have a ton of stuff. You have a wide variety for the cost of those 2 things. You can play so many different units because we're going to talk about what's in the Echo-based unit. But one thing you're going to need to get, either way you get, buy them. If you're not going to buy Echo Base, then you're going to have to buy a couple other heroes and stuff. But you're going to need to get Han Solo. Some people think he's not that good, but I find that he's probably one of the better commanders in the game, and he's very versatile when he plays with Chewie, which you get in Echo Base Commander. Let's talk about what you get in Echo Base, because I think that is important for us to kind of transition here. So let's just go over there. Now, Echo Base, as I said, you should have Han and you should buy Luke. It just makes it complete. But in Echo Base, you get Leia, which is awesome. She's one of my favorite leaders. And you get all her cards. You get Chewie, which is great. And he pairs really well with Echo Base, and it's just a great way of getting him. And you get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 Rebel Vets. And honestly, the Rebel Vets, I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about them later, but they are the best core unit for the Rebels. But not only are they a great core unit, they come with a Mark II blaster, and the Mark II blaster is a separate unit. So technically, you're getting 8 core units right there. You can't even play 8 core units. The most you can play is 6. So you have a lot of variety there. And then you're getting 2 Tauntauns. I don't use Tauntauns a lot, but they are pretty good. And you're getting a laser turret, which I love. I would recommend you buying 2 extra ones to have at least 3. I've run 4 before, but you need at least 2. So having an extra one is not a bad idea, but getting it here is so much, your money savings is so great here. And then also you get R2 and C3PO, and the only other way to get R2 and C3PO is with a scenery set. And so this is just a great value. To be honest, you save by buying this probably $140 to $150 in parts and pieces, because each one of those core veteran core sets are $35. So you think about that, that's, $140 right there. That pays for the whole thing, and everything else is free. So that's just the way I look at it. It's probably the best way to buy them, but I still think you need Commander Luke, or so there's a few different ways to buy Luke. Let's talk about Luke for a second, because I think he's important. So Luke, you can buy him in 3 different ways. You can buy him in the core set, which you get the core set, Commander Luke, and he comes with these wonderful command cards at the top, but also you can buy him as a special edition, and he's in his Hoth suit, and then you get the Hoth cards, plus you get the command cards at the top, and you get 3 different ways of posing him in the Hoth thing. And so he's great to have that way. That's Commander Luke, and he can be got in 2 different ways. Now, but if you're going to buy Luke and if you're going to play Luke, now I'm going to tell you something before I even get any further. Right now, Rebel Jedis are not really strong in the meta because of maybe the pricing, but also the way that clones work. It's not Jedis outside of clones aren't really working well right now. But that could always change. As I said, they could change things. But I think that maybe Commander Luke needs a point drop and maybe even Operative Luke. Now, Operative Luke is more powerful. He is a better one to play, and you can play all of Commander Luke's cards or Operative Luke cards whenever you play either Luke. So the only way to get Operative Luke, obviously, is to buy the Operative Luke package, and so it's worthwhile to get if you want to use a Force user like Luke in your thing, because having all his 6 cards are way better, and there are some pretty cool cards in Operative Luke thing. So one's really defensive, the other one lets you move the other guy's units or attack with the other guy's units. It was kind of cool. It's very situational, though. I would say Commander Luke's cards are arguably better unless you're playing I Am a Jedi in the right situation. I Am a Jedi in the right situation is overpowered. It's cool. It really makes a difference. So outside of Luke, what should you be looking at to get? So as I said, you need to buy Luke and Han. I think those are strong heroes. If you're not buying the Echo base, but if you're playing Rebels, I highly suggest you buy Echo base. But if you're not buying Echo base, then you need to be buying Princess Leia as well, because she's a very strong leader. So let's take a look at some of the other things that you might want to get. And so we'll just flip over there. And so some things you can think about getting, and I got the wrong picture there, but it's okay. I was going to be talking about the upgrade pack. I think it's important to have at least 2 of them, because you really need the commanders are handy. You can have an extra commander. It's always good to have a cheap commander you can pay, and he's like the cheapest commander out there. But for this, the most important things is the comm officer. Repair bots and medical droids are always handy, but comms officers really help you get orders out when you're using your Rebel veterans to other things, because the Rebel veterans, if they get an order, they get a dodge, and they also get to give an order to a placement trooper, which means you can give an order to your laser turret or to your Mark II blaster, and that's just the way to control your orders a bit better. So I like to run if I have the points, to run comms officers with my Rebel veterans. And so that's the real key for that. And I have 4 of them. I would say 2 would be a minimum. 3 would be great. But yeah, I run 4 of them. So what else do you think that you could use? Well, there is something that's really important, and that is the Andor and K2 pack. They're pretty hot right now in Rebels. He's got a long gun that can shoot. K2 has teamwork, which gives him lots of aims. So you can have like 3 aims on him every time he shoots, which gives him pretty good reliability. But he's only throwing 3 dice, but it's pretty reliable 3 dice. And so they're pretty even packed. But you got to think about something. If you're taking Andor, you're probably taking K2. That puts him at 190 points for the team, which is good. But a lot of times you're just not sure about that. Now, the other thing is other heroes that are worthwhile looking into is Sabine Wren. She partners with a lot of things fairly well. I'm not going to recommend Mandos. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Right now, the Mandos for Rebels are really not that good. They're the worst of the Mandos. They look cool. Buy them for cool factor. But they're not the best playable unit. So it's really like not something I would recommend as a early buy, but they look really cool. And they synergize a little bit with Sabine Wren. Now, as far as force users, probably Ahsoka Tano is one of the coolest looking force users, and she's really fun to play and really cool. And she partners well with obviously Sabine Wren. She have a card that share, but she also partners really well with Andor. Now, what are some of the things else that you could think about? I really think that Pathfinders are good. I play them a fair amount. I like the Pathfinders. I just like having the ion in from Biston. It really helps. I find he throws a lot of dice too, 5 dice at range 4, plus their unit throws 4 white dice at range 4 or 2 white dice at range 3, which is really good. And then Poe is Pow or Pow is pretty good too. Inspire 1 helps. But he's a leader, and both of them have health 2 now, which makes them a little more sustainable. I really wish that they would have made at least POW go into core units or something like some of the other, like the Imperials ones do, and also I think it would be kind of cool. I think it's a simple upgrade that allows the rebels to be a little stronger or a little more evenly balanced, and you're not wasting him if you're only taking Biston in things. And I would like to have seen them have a generic heavy that would have made it a little bit better, because then if you're not running these guys, you could actually run 3 Pathfinders with another heavy. Now, there is the Rebel Troopers upgrade pack, and really the only 2 cards that I use in it or ever used in it are these 2 right here. The Sniper, which is kind of cool, and then the guy who gives the dodges is kind of, I really like as well. Just because I find that rebels need dodges. That's kind of where I'm going to leave it at on that one. So those are some things you can think about. Now, always when you're buying early, one of the best units to buy is the Scout Rebels Commandos unit, because they give you 2 units again, just like your Rebel veterans. This gives you 2 units, and it allows you to put them. I showed both heavies that you can put in it, but I never find a reason to play the proton charge saboteurs, just because actions are so valuable, and to arm that for a full action. If that was a free action, I'd be all over that. Even if I had to put the points up to 30 free action, I'd be playing the proton charge saboteurs all the time. So I just don't know how do you do that? Maybe if you gave it, because you don't want to do a free action, maybe you gave it, when you did it, you get a move, a speed 1 move. That would make it even playable. And that's just kind of one of the things I would say. Snipers are really good. They have high velocity and Pierce is really good against units like clones. So that's kind of the thing that we want to talk about. Now, vehicles for this faction, they're fun. They're really fun to play. I'm not saying you have to buy all this stuff, but I'm just saying the vehicles are fun to play. I have 2 land speeders and 2 air speeders. They give a really cool, fun way to playing your leaders and different things, because they could take 1 unit, which means you're basically putting a leader in it every time. And you can do stuff with R2 with them. But the reality is they're just fun to play. When they first came out, they were unplayable. But after dropping costs and changing things, the airspeeder became playable and fun to play. And it's really something I enjoy playing. But I want to go to the cream of the crop and the most important unit in the Rebel faction. And that is, I've mentioned it before, the Rebel veterans. Now, if you buy them by this, it's like $40 a pack in Canada. Or you can buy the Echo base defenders where you get 4 of them. And they look good no matter how you want to paint them. You can paint them as snow guys from Hoth, or you can paint them as jungle guys. I just wanted to show you the difference. You can paint them both ways. I have probably 3 of each painted, and they're really just great to play. And they add a lot of variety to your game, and they do a lot of different things, and they have one of the best heavies in the game, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. Now, let's get to the thing that we talk about every week, and that is our giveaway. We are giving away some alternate art cards, probably around March 17th. We're going to do a video and a giveaway for that, and we're excited for that. And all you have to do to get entered into this giveaway, we're giving lots of things away as well. To get into any of our giveaways is to subscribe, like, and comment. And if you've done that on any of the videos where I've talked about these, your name will be entered into the giveaway and you will have a chance of winning some alternate art cards. So that is something I just want to share with you. One other thing I want to share with you is we're on a push to make it to 1,000 subscribers. We're just over 900 right now. Help us get to that end goal. And so if you could really just be a part of helping us get there, that would be amazing for me. And I just appreciate that. So if you made it this far, take the time. It doesn't cost you anything to like and subscribe, and be a part of Legion Outpost. And the next time I get on here for a full video, I'll be telling you about the tournament I was in, and we'll be excited to share all the details about that. So thank you for hanging out with us. Take the time to, as I said, to like and subscribe and be a part of our movement here. And may the force be with you.